Now, one of the last legislative activities that took place in the year 2016 is a retreat organized by a committee of the House of Representatives. The retreat, which took place in Abeokuta, the capital of Ogun State, focused on the ongoing efforts to amend the 1999 Constitution. Here's a report on that event. It's the opening ceremony of a retreat organized by the 55-member Special Ad-hoc Committee of the Federal House of Representatives on the review of the 1999 Constitution. Gathered are principal officers of the House, members of the Conference of Speakers, elder statesmen, traditional rulers, and labor leaders. For some of the speakers, it's a chance to review the Constitution and address gray areas in order to reshape the future of the country. The chairman of the Ad hoc Committee outlined the purpose of the retreat and some of the issues that are being considered by the committee.
This retreat is therefore a very important one, and as it avails the committee an opportunity to meet with stakeholders in the state and deliberate more on how to come up with a constitution that will positively impact the country's democratic process. Some contemporary issues for constitutional review are: 1. The issue of legalizing same-sex marriage, which has been the subject of debates in several jurisdictions of the world. The demand for more in the scheme of things and access to control of resources has led to increased violence, hostage-taking, and disruption of the activities of the oil industry, the mainstay of the country's economy. These conflicts are traceable in many respects to dissatisfaction by different groups within the geopolitical configuration with the distribution of power, particularly control over natural and physical resources within the federal structure. The balance of power is said to be too heavily tilted in favor of the central government.
Some of the dignitaries present pledged their support, while others had words of advice.
We like to call for the timely execution of the exercise. From the immediate past ugly experience, we should now be guided that any proposed amendment passed by and ratified by the National Assembly and the State Assemblies, respectively, remains proposed until Mr. President gives his assent. We want to ensure you of our readiness to play our constitutional roles in the planned review of the Constitution by the 8th Assembly.
We must look into our Constitution, particularly the area having to do with our economy, to see what we can do to adjust and amend and get through into the rightful things to do to improve our situation in our country. A lot of people are being retrenched all over the place. A lot of people are now without any job, and by hook or crooks trying to find a means of livelihood. We must now work very, very hard to ensure that our Constitution is reframed in a way to take care of this present situation.
The governor of Ogun State, Ibikunle Amosun, however, sounded a note of caution to the committee, saying those amendments should be done with utmost sense of responsibility in the context of the unity and oneness of Nigeria.
It is my belief that the proposed review of the 1999 Constitution will provide a golden opportunity to resolve once and for all those contentious issues like the derivation formula, revenue allocation, physical federalism, state creation, resource control, local government creation by states, state police, the perceived long-standing marginalization of the ethnic minorities, and a few regions of the country. It will also present our countrymen and women a rare opportunity of making inputs into the Constitution to truly capture the terms of coexistence by the different nationalities that make up the country.
He also pointed out some areas of concern to the state.
Ogun State now, in the context of what they give in terms of non-oil, we are 26th. those data, those indices that were used maybe some years, 20, whatever years back, today in Nigeria, and I'm saying this, I know I'm camera, everybody is here, it's open. If you go to the Federal Ministry of Statistics, they will tell you, go to FIRS, they will tell you, go to customs, go to everywhere. We have the largest base of industries, the highest number of industries in Nigeria now. So if you do that, and in the context of what you contribute to the Federation account, even people that are bringing things in through the port, when they pay all these duties and all of that, you will discover that there are factories in the state. They are paying all those taxes, all those things into the coffers of the federal government. But when we are now doing this distribution, Ogun State is still at the 26th position. Even in the context of Southwest, we are 5th, and that is not right.
It is the belief of Nigerians that this renewed effort will provide the much-needed benefit to the citizenry and take the country to a greater height. Following the opening ceremony, some of the lawmakers spoke on the issues raised. They spoke clearly on the need for the Constitution to be amended to reflect what they say is a reality facing the country now.
Yes, I think it's a wonderful one, and like the governor of Ogun State said, we should return to resource control and pay taxes to Central. So that's my take on the whole amendment, taking it from that angle, because we're abandoning the resources we have because everybody is sharing from the federal allocation. But when we return to what God has deposited in each of the states, will be better for it, because each state will struggle to stand on its own, while the federal is also aiming for the top.
Let me reassure every Nigerians that our real challenge or challenges lies in the Constitution. And I say this because we have a Constitution to some very large extent that tells us that what we are practicing is more of a unitary system. It has created a major problem for us as a nation, because there is the clear need for us to ask ourselves, how did we find ourselves in this situation? How come other nations are moving forward? How come the Asian tigers were able to beat us? How did Malaysia and all the other countries moved? Why with the great opportunities and potentials, we couldn't? The whole states in this country are blessed with various mineral resources. If every state can look inward and create some level of specialization, you can be rest assured that Nigeria will move forward with a wonderful speed. What we have today will be sending us backward, because nobody is interested in looking inward. And at the end of the day, you know, there will be this juggle for political power at the center on a continual basis. There is the need to reduce that exclusive legislative list to the barest minimum and be able to move on as a nation. I can tell you that if we can look critically at this, Nigeria is on the step of, moving forward.
This particular exercise is more critical now than ever, because it should be used as an avenue, as a platform to incorporate and allay the fears of the different segments, most especially the minorities in this country. So in totality, this is the best time that we must put into practice what we have mouthed so far, which is true federalism in the very essence of it, so that we can, that I believe is the thread and the needle that we are going to use to weave back Nigeria into one indivisible entity. We are now saying we are one indivisible entity in mouth, but in action, indeed, daily occurrences, there are forces that are tending to pull us apart. So I believe that this process that would lead to a new constitution would be that tonic that would bring us back as a country.